Natalia Antonova.
This is Arutunyan.
We are the ladies in Putin's Russia.
Yes, still are ladies.
Still are, and I don't.
Not wenches. Don't confuse us.
I don't think
with
that's
that.
really ever going to change.
Probably not.
Unless we move or become men, which.
Let's not get into that. Anyway, we wanted to talk to you today about the really shocking case that happened a few weeks ago in the Moscow region town of Dolgoprudny, where a woman, Galina Ryabkova, tossed out her two sons from a balcony. They were killed. This was on the 15th floor. She specifically took them up to the 15th floor. She threw out her 4-year-old son and her 7-year-old son, and since then has been arrested. And there's lots of soul searching going on in the town of Dolgoprudny, as well as in Russia in general, about what happened there, because it reminds me of actually the Andrea Yates case in the States. Do you remember that, when this woman who was schizophrenic, I believe, she heard voices and drowned her 5 kids in a bathtub. And the common denominator in these stories is like the absent father figure. In Andrea Yates's case, this was a guy who was working a NASA job, was away all the time. And from what the neighbors have said, Galina Ryabkova, the mother who killed her children in Dolgoprudny, also was having trouble with her husband. He was frequently away. When this double murder occurred, he was away on vacation without his wife or kids, or so they're saying.
Yeah. Well, I think that apart from this common denominator, what happens, and what I often see in the media coverage of cases like this, is that America will, like, there will be a lot of talk, oh my god, this is like a very pertinent issue that's very specific to our moral decay, and in Russia, very much the same talk is going on.
Yeah,
oh my god, it's our
decay.
moral decay. It's something specific to our society. Well, the thing is, it's not specific to any society. This is something that happens everywhere, and according to very, very similar patterns. And I think the other common denominator here is not just the absent father figure. The problem at the heart of it is that it makes people think about having kids. And I mean, just the difficulty, the possibility, the utter hardships that women experience in raising children everywhere.
Which people really do not talk about as much.
Which really isn't. It's taken for granted.
It's taken for granted that having kids, raising them is hard, and it's just considered to be something that comes naturally.
You just need to deal with it, right? You just need to deal with it.
It's considered like you have a mothering instinct, and it'll lead you, and you'll be fine. And that's not really the case. And also the fact, I think that I'm going to say something controversial. I think that this is proof that some people. I don't think Galina Ryabkova should have had kids. Or, since she had them, I don't think she should have been raising them. Because clearly the woman is very much disturbed. She simulated a suicide attempt while in prison, probably hoping to gain sympathy. And when people do that kind of thing, when they're trying to gain sympathy after such an act, it shows you that they're not, she's not remorseful. I mean, that's just my understanding of, criminal psychology. Obviously, it's a very complicated topic, but since she did this, I just feel that maybe she should not have been in that position where she was alone with these children
The thing
all
is,
the
but
time.
you can't prevent that.
You can't prevent. Exactly, you can't prevent
also,
that.
you never know whether, you can't tell ahead of time whether this is the woman that's going to flip or not. I mean, haven't we all been through postpartum depression? I mean, I have. I don't know if you have.
I think something like it.
I think I noticed something like that going on with you. I think you. I mean, I didn't even know that it was happening to me until it was happening to me. We don't know these things. These things can't really be controlled, planned out. You can't really say, oh, it's a woman's, choice. We've been talking a lot about choices.
Well, I think it goes back to the issue of, feminism, and how feminism should ideally be something that helps women deal with the harder stuff in life, that helps even the playing field, and obviously when it comes to raising kids, the playing field is not even. Let's just
and it's never going to
let's
be
just
even.
admit
and
that.
We need to admit that and move on and start dealing with how to make it more even, not hammering home the idea that men and women are somehow equal. I think that's where we. Am I wrong?
Well, I don't think you're wrong. I think that obviously. I don't think men in most societies are encouraged to really be part of their families. They're encouraged to just bring home the bacon, earn the money, and then everything else falls on the woman's shoulders. Well, why not have potentially a more, egalitarian setup where, two people are more like in a partnership mode where they share responsibility and they kind of meet each other halfway. That kind of thing is not. It's sadly absent from a lot of cultures, and it's, you know, and the thing is that with Galina Rybkova, one of the issues that has been brought up here in Russia over and over again is why wasn't she working? You know, her kids were 4 and 7 years old. At that point, it is very much acceptable for a woman, even a mother of 2, to be working.
In Russia, it's not just acceptable;
it's
norm,
expected.
it's
expected. It's the norm, and I think that's a healthy
just
norm.
economically. I don't know if it's healthy. I would take issue with that because this is an economic norm. It's something that was, you know, it was mandated in the Soviet Union that you just have to work. And I mean, in this, because there was no, I mean, gender issues weren't really addressed. A woman was also expected to keep house,
yeah.
And the men were not expected.
So a woman works and she does the domestic labor, and the man works and does not do the domestic labor, and that's kind of a problem. But that's not Galina Rybkova's case. Something else was going on there. Anyway, I think we should finish now. I hope that this incident, if anything good is to come of this horrific incident, is that maybe it'll just make it a little bit more acceptable for some of these mothers who are in a similar position to go see a psychiatrist. I'm just saying.
In Russia, this is
we should.
Psychiatry is just not that.
We should end our video because it's time for it to end. Yes. We hope we cheered you up there, and sorry.
Sorry if we didn't.
Sorry if we didn't, and we'll see you next week.